Today we bring you a very special collaboration video for your Barcelona transfer news. Some people may say it's the biggest collaboration the world of football and YouTube has ever seen, and some haters will say that some people is me. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. And yes, indeed, we got ourselves a very special video because we got ourselves a very special guest. We got Kevin from Barca Media today with us to help us basically dissect the many news that we have to cover for you guys today.
And if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Kevin Cortez. I do run the channel called Barca Media, and I also do talk about Barcelona related stuff. I talk about transfers, post-match reviews, I do pre-match reviews, I do many different type of videos, and I'm really happy to collab with a guy like this. He's a great guy. I hope that you guys do like this video.
So yes, indeed, guys, his and my details are gonna be in the description down below. Basically, if you are familiar with the content that we upload here on my channel, you're basically gonna like his. So the very first piece of news basically involves Liverpool and Juventus showing up their interest for Ousmane Dembele. Basically, in the past few hours, we've gotten information from Football Italia in Italy saying that Juventus are trying to create some sort of negotiation with Barcelona, making them concrete for a loan deal for Ousmane Dembele. The loan deal wouldn't have any sort of obligation to buy at the moment of reporting, and this is something which actually, if you are from the fan base that want to see Dembele continue, grow, get the consistent game time, and finally become a good player for Barcelona, I guess you're going to be happy. This loan deal could actually give Dembele the opportunity to leave to another club where he would get most opportunities. We see, for instance, Douglas Costa getting older at Juventus. We also have Juan Cairao playing as a right back. So then Dembele would actually get a good amount of opportunity, I would say. He could potentially gain around 25 to 30 games a season if injuries respect him. Mundo Deportivo is trying to reinforce this also by suggesting that Dembele is willing to negotiate with Juventus because he's attracted by the proposition of playing for a big club where he can win titles, very similar to Barcelona, but he would also like to return to Barcelona in the future. So if he's thinking about this loan move as well, I would kind of think that there's something really going on behind this. I wouldn't be that surprised, let's put it that way, if Dembele ends up joining to Juventus by the end of this transfer window. In the other hand, we also have the interest from Liverpool, and according to this one and the reports coming from France, it says already that Jurgen Klopp has made an offer. That Liverpool has made an offer already in the past few days for the interest of Ousmane Dembele, and that offer would have been a loan without any sort of loan fee being kind of disclosed, and then an option to buy by the end of the deal. I would say for Ousmane Dembele, and if my priority as a Barca fan is to see Dembele improve, I would take the kind of opportunity to play with Klopp over someone like Maurizio Sarri. Because also I think that sort of system where they praise very high and can also have very good counterattacks with open space will come very good in hand for Ousmane Dembele, and he could improve in the skill set that Barcelona actually requires. Let's say he goes to Liverpool and improves in the Premier League. Then he could come back to Barcelona and with those skill set that he has learned, play even better. Overall, all of this sounds very positive. Yes, I understand. But only if your priority is to keep the player. If the board, Bartomeu and everybody else wants to sell Dembele, this is possibly the worst thing they could do. Because loaning a player is a very risky move. They just got in first-hand experience from loaning Coutinho to Bayern Munich. And I do not want another opportunity like that, another scenario where we loan a player, and then we get just simply a player coming back a year later with even less market value. That is exactly what has happened with Coutinho, and that's what we should avoid with Dembele.
First, I'm going to talk about Sergi Roberto, and according to Miguel Rico from Mundo Deportivo, he claimed Sergi Roberto is a player Barcelona would be open to selling on a transfer. They aren't interested in a player exchange. He is ruled out of the Pjanic and Lautaro operation. Manchester City and Pep Guardiola like him, but Barcelona have asked for more time. And so when we do talk about Sergi Roberto, he is one of those players where every time we do enter a summer or winter, we never know if Sergi Roberto is going to be there or not. Because honestly, Sergi Roberto is someone who is not untouchable. He is not in the realm of Lionel Messi, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, and De Jong. And look, I get and understand that Sergi Roberto has been with Barcelona since 2013, but he was never valued or seen as a untouchable. Which is why when we hear reports about Roberto potentially leaving Barcelona, we always wait and ask and be like, wait, is he really going to leave this time? And what makes this report so appealing is that when we do talk about Manchester Manchester City, right? Pep Guardiola is the coach of that team, and Guardiola is a big fan of utility players, and Sergi Roberto is that type of player. If we look at Pep Guardiola's whole history of him managing different teams, every time he does manage a different team, he always has a player who is a utility player. And now that he is at Manchester City, I could see why Guardiola would ask to bring in Sergi Roberto to Manchester City. And it almost seems like the perfect fit, like Sergi Roberto going to Manchester City and Guardiola greatly utilizing him. But here's the thing, I find two things wrong with this transfer. So like this report says, it says here, they aren't interested in a player exchange. And so yes, it's true, I don't even see this happening as a player exchange. And let me tell you why. Sergi Roberto cost 40 million euros on the transfer market. And if we were to put Sergi Roberto in a swap deal with Manchester City, there is a 99% chance that Barcelona will need to pay an extra amount of cash in order to complete that swap deal. And right now, Barcelona cannot spend no cash. And I know that Barcelona is not interested in spending an extra 10 to 20 million euros to complete a swap deal.
And the last piece of news that we got for you guys today is that Messi has missed training. And this is, of course, a very big scare, but do not worry, guys. It all seems to be part of the plan. So today, Messi went to Ciudad Deportiva Joan Gamper to train at the gym, instead of going with a full team in the full training sessions with Quique Setién at there as well. The reason for it is because it's actually part of Messi's plan to kind of get back into full fitness. And this is something that we have to keep in mind when we want our best player returning. As the Bundesliga has taught us so far, there are many players that coming back from the break are actually getting injured. And by Messi actually taking a little bit of a kind of step down and not being as intense as the very first days that he's had, is actually something very good. And at least one day training at the gym alone for him could actually bring us a world of benefits. But that's not all, guys, because we've also seen other young Barcelona B players joining the first team sessions, such as Jorge Cuenca, Chumi, and Quique Saverio. They are also playing alongside other Barcelona B players such as Ronaldo Araujo, Iñaki Peña, Ansu Fati, Alex Collado, Ricky Puig, and Monchu. So far, we have to see how the high-intensity training methods of Quique Setién will work out for the squad, basically. You would initially think that this will give some sort of edge to the team against the other opposition once La Liga restarts, but I guess you never know, injuries could also happen. But thankfully, we're taking also the right measures into account, because tomorrow the squad will not be training. Tomorrow is a free day and they will return later on Friday to continue where they left off. So hopefully we do all good and then we get our first win against Mallorca on June 13th.
Now I want to move on to the next topic of the day, and we are going to talk about Neymar Jr. Now that it is the 7-year anniversary, Sport wanted to come out with a report, and it says here, PSG asked for 175 million euros in cash to let go of Neymar Jr. Barcelona see a deal as unfeasible, and that's if PSG don't accept a swap deal. Neymar will push for a move to the Camp Nou, but realizes his return to Barcelona is unlikely. So when we are talking about Sport, I have talked about this before. Sport is a outlet where they are not the most credible source out there, and reading this report, there's absolutely no backing onto why they can prove that Neymar right now is worth 175 million euros. But what we do know is this: FIFA did price Neymar Jr. at 150 million euros pre-pandemic, so before the whole world collapsed. Then we have a company called KPMG, and I talked about this before in my last video. So we do have a company named KPMG. So they do specialize in in-depth market valuation of football players, and they have stated because of the collapse of the transfer market, it led to the value of these players to plummet. And with that being said, they said that the top 20 most valuable players, and Neymar's in that category, in Europe will see their value decrease by an average of 20% if the season is cancelled. And as we all know, the Ligue 1, which is the French league, has finished, which means that Neymar's value has decreased by 20%. And we have multiple outlets in France claiming that PSG are willing to give Barcelona an installment plan to bring back Neymar Jr. So PSG themselves might not be able to give Barcelona the luxury of a discount, but they could give Barcelona the luxury of time.
That's gonna be everything for today, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Be sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment box down below. Be sure to also check out my friend Kevin at Barca Media. His content is very similar to mine, so I'm sure you're gonna to enjoy it. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today. See you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.